My name is Robert Greene. My persuasive speech this week is going to be over why not to drink and drive and DWI prevention. I will be going over three things. I'll be going over what could happen if you get a DWI, what could happen if you drive while intoxicated and get into a motor vehicle accident, and also how to prevent both of those from happening and getting home safe and not injuring yourself or others. This speech will include how to inform you of laws, consequences, and preventions of DWIs, as well as how to go out and have fun and get home safely. The first things first is, what does alcohol do to your body? What does it make your body do? Well, it makes your body slow concentration, slow your coordination, and slow your memory. That's the cause of what happens if you get into a motor vehicle accident while you are driving under the influence. Now, what could happen if you get caught drinking and driving? Multiple things could happen. Well, first you'd get arrested, and then you would have to go to court to decide what your consequences and convictions might be. You could lose your license for a year. If you lose your license for a year, that means that whenever you got arrested and you went to do the BAC machine that tests your blood alcohol content, you refuse the blow, and that automatically revokes your license for a year. You could drive on a restricted license. When you get arrested, you'll get a deal, and you'll have a 15-day deal where you can drive, and then you'll have a restricted license, and you can only go from work to your home, and from your home to work, nowhere else. If you get caught, then you get even in more trouble. You might not ever be able to drive again, depending upon how many DWIs you got. First offense normally is just fines and restricted license. Second offense is you lose your license, and the third offense you lose your license for a year and jail time possibly. Also, if to get your license back, you might have to take an alcohol education class, and also you might have to take a driver's education class. The next thing is, if you drink and drive and you get into a motor vehicle accident, what could happen? Well, you could face all those things I just told you. Driving while drive without a license, not be able to drive at all, alcohol education class you might have to take, and driver's education class. Also, you could face multiple charges depending upon what happened. You could injure yourself, or you could injure somebody else. I mean, when you get in you got to think, when you get into a car, you're not just putting yourself at risk and your life, you're putting somebody else's too. So if you hit somebody, you could face, depending upon whether you injured them or killed them, you could face involuntary manslaughter, vehicle homicide, and murder if you killed them. If you didn't, you could probably still get attempted murder, depending upon their injuries, and you could still face jail time up to a year or life in prison. You can also lose your license and probably not have one at all after that. Also, if you are under the age of 21 and get caught with a DWI, that's 0.02% tolerance, which means if you have that in your system, when you're driving, that's automatic DWI, and zero tolerance is automatic DWI, even if you have it in your vehicle. Now, in some cities, there's an ordinance that where if you get caught, it doesn't matter whether you're a driver or passenger, and you have an open container, you get arrested for open container. Plus, if you're a minor, you get an MIP, minor in possession, and if you're drinking, you get minor in possession by consumption if you're the under age of 21. Now, the open container applies to everybody from under age 21 and 21 and up. If it's in that city. Now, the state law does not have an open container law in the state, so if you get caught in the county, that does not apply, but in some city limits, it does apply. Now, how could you prevent from getting a DWI when you go out? Well, before you go out to a bar or to a friend's house, you can talk to the friend that's going with you and see if you guys want to get a cab and split the cost. Depending upon how far the place is, you might walk, or depending upon how many people go, you might have a designated driver. Or if you do drive over there and you go over there and you drink and you can't drive home, you can call a friend or call your parent or call a cab or walk back. That's probably the smartest thing to do. It's better than hopping in a vehicle and going out there and driving and then hitting somebody and risking not only your life but their life too, or getting pulled over for a DWI and losing your license, jail time, community service, having that on your record for life pretty much, and then risking getting pulled over again. I mean, you don't need those charges on you, and it's not good to get a DWI, and it's also not good to go out there and drive and put somebody else's life at risk and get into an accident and kill them or injure them, and then you have to face even steeper charges and may not be able to get out of jail at all and be spending the rest of your life in jail. Um, like I said, the best way is to plan ahead, uh, talk it over to your friends, call a cab, find out if somebody wants to be a DD, walk, call a friend if you need to come get picked up from the bar or a friend's house, or call your parents. I know that's the last step you'd want to do, but you might call your parents. I mean, if you're older, of course, you probably just call a friend or walk or call a cab, but just do not drive. I mean, it's not just your life in hands, it's other people's too, and it's not just that it's your life in your own hand, but it's you're also responsible for other people out there on the road as well. So be safe, do those things that will help you from not getting a DWI, and you can have fun and you can still be home and be safe and not get in trouble. That will be my speech for this week. Thank you.